What it is, what it do. Thank you for tuning into my YouTube channel. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Visit my blog, cosmicpeople.com, and my Instagram, Cosmic Peephole, if you want to see more content, as well as Twitter. So I'm going to do a story time. And this story time is about when basically I worked at a school, and one of the teachers there, his nephew or cousin, it was something like that, he basically pursued me. So let's get directly into it. So I'm leaving work, and he needs to get into the building, and I can tell that he doesn't work there. So I let him in the building. That was that. So he asked and we ended up chatting. He ended up asking his uncle for my names. And like when you send a chain email in work, like they have your first and last name and all those things. So he told him or whatever. And it was outside of our door, like on the placard. I think that's what it's called. It had me and did they have our first name? No, it had our last name. He asked his uncle for my first and last name. So like 3 weeks later, after school is out, I get somebody who follows me on Twitter. Now anybody knows me knows that I'm top secret. I'm very private. So he followed me, and I was racking my brain like, where the fuck do I know him from? So you know me, I'm a private eye. I get to read his tweets. I'm scrolling. And I'm like, he in DC. Like, who is this guy? Like, what? I never seen him before. And then I seen him tweeting along the lines of, like, I need to find something to do. So I'm like, okay, this is giving me touristy vibes. Like, you're not from here. So I follow him back because I'm like, I want to know who this is. So he writes me in my messages, and I'm just having casual conversation because I'm trying to feel him out. I don't want to jump the gun. I don't know who he is. So we talking, and he finally says that, that the music teacher is his uncle, and he's out here for law school, all the things. So I'm like, that's where I know you from. But I only seen him once. And usually I have a photographic memory. I don't forget people's faces. And I didn't forget his face when I seen his Twitter profile. But I couldn't remember where I saw him at because I was working 2 jobs at that time. So my memory was a little sketchy. So we're chatting. Mind you, I'm just keeping it cool. Like, I keep it playing. Like, I can chat with males and just be their friend. Like, it's very possible. Cause I'm like a homie. Like, I'm like one of the bros. Like, don't flirt with me. I'm one of the bros. So we're chatting, and he's telling me about this girl that he used to date. Mind you, she was from Florida. Very boisterous. He was very passive. So I'm like, okay, you like fiery women. Like that you get a rise out of that. But I'm like, I'm not dating him, not interested in him, whatevs. So he did something that I didn't like. It was some bitch ass shit. And I can't do that. So I said, yeah, I didn't like that you did that. He tried to tell me, oh no, I didn't do that. Blah 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 blah. Like, I'm like, who are you talking to? Like, you don't have no friends here. I'm probably your only friend. The only place that we did go together, like I was trying to show him a place he could hang out at, was we met at the gym, worked out, and then I took him down Eastern Market to this cute art place. And I'm like, like this is an area you can come hang out in if you feel inclined to. Like, I'm a loner. Don't bank on me to hang out because half of the time I want to be in my own company, if not with my other friends, like friends. So that was that, and I didn't like how he operated. So that was a dub, and I told him about himself, And I unfollowed him on Twitter. Like, I don't want to see your thoughts. Like, I don't want to see your thoughts. Mind you, he was a Cancer, y'all. I love Cancer men who are thorough, aware of their emotions, and don't play those emotional mind games that Cancers tend to play, as well as the males, period. So I'm just like, you trying to play this passive aggressive game with me makes sense. You're a lawyer. You're basically, what I was saying to him, he was basically saying I didn't have any facts or I didn't have any proof. I'm a spiritual bitch. Like, I don't have to have proof. I know what I know. If I feel it, if I feel it for most things, it's true. Period. So, I ain't like how he operated with that. And I'm just like, yeah, I'm good off of you. But before I cut him off, y'all, he is like, we're talking, and he's like, yeah, this is one of my he didn't say this because this is my terminology, but he was like, yeah, this is one of my joints. Y'all, guess who he sent me a screenshot of? Had to do a dramatic pause. He sends me a screenshot of him on FaceTime with LMA. Now, with all the technology that we have, it could have been very well fake, but he's not from this area. So I'm like, okay, you know, you're in law school, you got all these connections. You could be talking to her. I don't know. So I'm like, okay, like, whoop-de-doo, like, that don't move me. Like, that don't move me. Like, now if you told me you were dating Beyonce, yeah, I'm all ears. I want to meet her. I want to go to her concert. Like, I want to have a chat with her. I want to read her cards. But fucking LMA, are you kidding me? And this is no shade to LMA. Love you. You're a Scorpio. But I said some shady shit to you. I will admit it. And I'm apologizing. I apologize. But yeah, I understand LMA is a Scorpio. We have multiple layers, and a lot of times we appear shy, and that's because we're around a bunch of people. So I know she has layers to her. But I was like, oh, she decent. And decent don't mean like average. Decent mean like, okay, she's appropriate. She's valid. Like, okay. But he like, yeah, that's one of my joints. I said, okay, like, why you keep saying that? He was just on some bitch ass shit. Like, keep trying to rub that in my face. Like, what are you telling me this for? So, in my brain, I'm like, you know, LMA has the personality of a paperclip. Like, she's not very memorable to me. And it's no shade. There's no shade. But if I'm out hanging out with Rihanna and I'm hanging out with LMA, I feel like my night with Rihanna is going to be more memorable. And I don't know LMA, but this is just what I'm getting. And it's no shade to her, but girl, he tried to use you to make me feel away. And I'm just like, nigga, what? The hell? I'm one of one. Do you know who you talking to on the phone? Because clearly you don't. Let me reintroduce you. So yeah, he basically tried to like throw who he dates out as like a big like boom, like, hey, I talked to LMA. Well, fucking congratulations. Is she helping you with any of your loans? Like, what? Like, why? What are we talking about? So I unfollowed him. That was that. You know, I never even liked him. And I do have Aries in my chart. So he probably mistook my kindness for flirting. But bitch, you don't know nobody here. I'm just being nice. Like, stop what you're doing. So, that was my story time. I'm thinking I'm going to do another story time. It's still kind of fresh. So I think I might wait just to see how it plays out for my next story time. But it's gonna be juicier than this one. I promise you, you're gonna gag. Like, you're going to gag. But let me know how you like this. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Visit my blog, Cosmic Peephole. Email me if you want a reading, cosmicpeephole@gmail.com. Visit my Twitter and Instagram. It's Cosmic Peephole. And I hope to connect with you sometime soon.